Welcome to our YouTube channel, The Learning World. Now, in this video, we'll be learning about rocks. Why different types of rocks are present at different layers? How is the erosion of these materials possible? How is the erosion of these rocks are possible? Where these rocks are located and how to identify it? Now, let's begin. So, what is lithosphere? Lithosphere is nothing but the rock sphere. You have crust which includes both oceanic and continental crust along with the upper layer of the mantle which is solid is called lithosphere. This is a region also known as rock sphere. Because this is a region, you get majority of rocks. Rocks are made up of minerals and their erosion depends upon structure and composition. For example, if you have a rock in which it is tightly packed, it is completely granular, you have very small grains tightly packed, even water cannot get into it. On the other hand, if you take this particular portion, they are loosely packed, even you see the water can actually enter through it. In this what happens, the minerals which are present, the water is acidic, the water is basic. Based on that, the water actually goes for chemical decomposition of these rocks. But in the non-porous one, chemical decomposition is actually not seen. So based on the structure and the mineral composition, you can actually determine which type of weathering is going to see in this particular rocks. So next, let's see how earth crust becomes solidified. How did you get rocks which are actually seen in the lithosphere? As earth was initially made of molten magma. Across that is, earth was in its molten state. You can see this red hot ball, it was mainly due to volcanic eruption. That is, magma was present all across. Then immediately what happens? The crust was formed and its outer surface started releasing heat into atmosphere. We usually saw crust get solidified. Now crust gets solidified from magma. You have oceanic crust and you have continental crust. All these were actually made up of rocks formed from the cooling of magma. The rocks formed from cooling of magma, it is actually known as igneous rocks. Even today you can see this wherever you have volcano, wherever there is volcano eruption happening, magma which comes out and cools it actually known as igneous rocks. Igneous rocks were the first rock and those rocks are found even today. They are volcanic rocks. Igneous rocks are formed due to the cooling, solidification and crystallization of hot and molten magma. They are parent rocks or primary rocks as they were firstly formed. In the beginning, there was formed, even today that it is the first rock which comes out. Minerals are either granular or crystalline based on the rate and place of cooling. Igneous rocks are actually divided into two, the extrusive and the intrusive. In extrusive, the rocks are formed on the surface of the earth, and in intrusive, the rocks are formed inside the earth. In extrusive, you actually identified crystalline rocks, and in intrusive, you actually identified the granular rocks. Here you can see the different shades and all because it is a coarse grain. Based on the size, you have types of rocks. So first one is pegmatite, that is very large grains. So why did this happen? This happened because of cooling actually happens deep inside the earth. So these are the deepest rocks and are present at the greater depth. Now pheneritic rocks. These are coarse grain but not as pegmatite. They will be present deep inside but not below the pegmatite. Now, aphanetic rocks. It is fine grains and it is invisible. Can you see any grains in these rocks? You can't differentiate. The entire thing look like one grain. The reason is it is fine grain rock and alphanetic means invisible. They are formed near to the surface or at the surface. Now glassy means without grains. You do not find any grains at all. It is found at very cold places. Now porphyritic, that is mixed grain igneous rocks. Means you have coarse grain and fine grains also. They are actually found in a subsurface area. Now what is subsurface? Just 1 kilometer or 500 meters. Within that you may actually see these types of rocks. And you usually get mixed grain igneous rocks. Based on the place and shape, intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks are divided into different types. So let's first take intrusive igneous rocks. First is plutonic igneous rocks, that are the intrusive igneous rocks which happens at great depth. So you have magma chamber, and above magma chamber you usually see rocks are getting solidified. Plutons are the deepest one, so you usually have rocks inside. So plutons are the deepest one in the intrusive igneous rocks. They cool very deep inside the earth. As you go deeper, there is a high temperature, so there is a slow cooling and grains are developed. They have very coarse grains. And example is granite. So what is plutonic igneous rocks? Plutonic igneous rocks are the one which happening deep inside the earth. Now, high-basal igneous rocks. There is a fracture and magma is actually coming out. There is pore, it's going and filling. There is another pore, it's going and filling. During volcano eruption, so when magma is actually coming from magma chamber, it fills the cracks, pores, crevices and all just below the surface of the earth. So these are the further divided on the basis of shape. So first one is batholith, long undulating forms of solidified magma which is dome shaped and has a vertical walls, just like this. The best example is Ranchi batholith. Now, what are laccoliths? The injection of magma along the bedding plane of horizontally bedded sedimentary rocks. So wherever there is a cracks, pores and all, usually magma goes there and they get solidified. In sedimentary rocks, layers of rocks are present. When these two layers got attached, there may be some gaps in between. So magma, whenever they go, they may get accumulated in this gap, and based on that you get different shapes. So here laccoliths are in a mushroom shaped. Now what are seals? So without gases coming out, if the sedimentary rocks, if there are gaps and if the magma entered into this region in a horizontal one, if I take this sedimentary rocks, these are the longer layers. Seals are actually present parallel to it. Magma gap was present parallel to it, then it got filled. You usually called it seals. If the seals are thick, that is magma chamber which is formed is thick, you call it seals, and if the seals are thin, you called it sheets. These are horizontally plate shaped. Now what are dikes? If they are perpendicular to the sedimentary rocks, then they are called as dikes. They are perpendicular. Now next thing is sphacoliths. You have anticline and syncline. deposition of magma and solidifying of magma on anticline and syncline is actually known as phacolites. Now next thing is, what is leucolith? The shallow basin or the bowl shape magma fill in a concave shallow basin. Now we'll discuss about the extrusive igneous rocks. Now what are the big advantage with extrusive igneous rocks? Solidify quickly because they come onto the surface soon. They are fine grained and glassy because they do not get enough time to form grains. The example is basalt. There are two types of extrusive igneous rocks. The one is quiet lava flow and another one is explosive. For example, this is a volcano and this is a magma chamber. The magma comes out, magma is just pouring out, it's coming and it is flowing. This is known as quiet lava flow. Here you actually see this in the plateau and plain region. The second one is explosive type. The second type is like a cone. So you have a volcanic cone. And from this volcanic cone, magma is not coming out, lava is not coming out. What you usually see is big fragments of or rocks. This actually happens because air first comes out. So whichever rock particles, big fragments of rocks are there, they will come out. It will be a burst kind or an explosive type. If you see extrusive igneous rocks, very fine grains, but when you saw intrusive igneous rocks, you were able to identify the difference. Now rocks on the basis of silica content. It is actually divided into acidic and basic. In rocks terminology, if silica content is more, we call it to be acidic. The acidic igneous rocks, the silica content is 65 to 85%. Density is 2.75 to 2.8. It is less adhesive, used for construction houses, and example is granite. Now granite is Sial and Sial is continental crust. Now acidic igneous rocks lacks iron and magnesium. After that you have basic igneous rocks which have silica content 45 to 60%. Silica is not absent, silica is present, but due to the more iron you have ferromagnesium is present, which is dark in color. Most of the igneous rocks are non-porous and cannot be eroded through chemical weathering except basalt. Basalt is easily eroded with water. After that we'll see intermediate igneous rocks. It is between acidic and basic, that is between 60 to 65%. Then you have ultra basic, in which you have silica content less than 45%. So you have saw igneous rocks in details. Igneous steps and all we are done now. I will stop my video here. And thanks for watching.